Work it, make it, do it. Makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
That don't kill me, can only make me stronger.
It's been one of those years again. It's like been in a couple of these and been frustrated by, not by our performance, but by just not getting the win. It's really hard to pull us to pieces on the weekend again. And these last 3 or 4 weeks, this last 6 weeks really, it's just been some really good, solid performances. We're a good, strong side. Like I say, we just didn't have enough to get us to that point. Like I said, it's really hard. Reece gets over in the first half before we even score a try. Charlie Runciman scores in the left-hand corner and gets pulled back for Pat Arvan pulling on a winger that runs him off the ball. It's like there's a couple of bizarre decisions that you're not really sure of where they came from. Like I said, it's hard to complain about the referees when you had a bit of a rubber of green the week before, a couple of things, and this week it felt a little bit just didn't fall our way. We had a couple of opportunities late on in the game where I thought we were just about to sneak over. Kev was over the line late on. He threw a dummy, great dummy, and got really close to the line, but their desperation just kept him off. I don't think they created an awful lot of chances. We defended our line really well. We still looked a little bit jaded at times. I think that was the short turnaround after 3 or 4 weeks of pretty tough competition. The frustration from me comes in the fact that you can sit down and you can tell the lads how well they're playing, but they're just frustrated and they're getting a little bit more agitated because we're not winning games. And that's the tough place to be, where, and I say fifth and hands, when you look at the table and you look at the games that we should have won, and probably a lot of teams would say that, but there's games out there that have lost in the death or lost by 2 points, that we were the better team, just not getting the wins.
You were up against a team that was really desperate. Even Wilkins' kicking was less attacking kicking, it was more like to try and pin you back, really.
Yeah, they were just. They got the try early, which was frustrating for us, because we talked about our start, because we started poorly against Leeds, and the energy that it took for us to get the win took a lot of work. We knew we needed a start. We knew we needed that they'd be desperate, and if we could get a good start and we could get a foothold in the game early, and that wouldn't even be points. That would just make the clock tick over and keep pinning them back and build some pressure. Then we would find our way into a stronger position. But we gave away a couple of penalties. A soft try. The first try was a real soft try, and again it just put us in that place where it gave them a boost, and we had to fight our way back.
Everybody come through it okay?
I think Gil Dudson, again, it's very unfortunate that he's been playing so well, but I think he could be 5-6 weeks. It's not. I thought it might have been the dreaded syndesmosis that seems to appear every time somebody gets an ankle injury now. But he's got a really badly strained ligaments in his ankle, and those kind of things just take time.
Playing well as well, wasn't he? It was a decent offload for that break, wasn't it?
He's been playing really well this last. I don't think he's played badly all year, but he's just really found his straps this last like 2 months. Well, again, I know it's really hard to pick out. Even the lads that started slowly had some good patches in the game, and we're doing some things that are really solid. Like losing Gil messes up your rotation, and like I said, I'd like to be in a position where I think only really once. I think last week against Leeds is the only game where I feel like we finished the game with 17 blokes. I had to run with like 16 or 15 fellas through the team.
You're not overly blessed with big fellas, are they, really? Are you?
Not really, no. I don't know. I think Greg Burke came on and did a real good job for us. But like I say, you bring players in trying to build a little bit of competition for places, and Greg comes in and it looks pretty solid there now. Like I said, we're still waiting on him and seeing how far he is off and how he's progressing with the injury he's got. But you need those big blokes just to create that competition. And Greg comes in, looks great, it's really solid, and then we lose Gil. So it's 1 in 1 out kind of mentality.
It's easy to slot somebody like Greg in, because when did he first train? Was it Tuesday? When did he?
Yeah, he was there. He came in Tuesday. last week.
So
He's just done 2 sessions. He's spent a bit of time watching some tape with us and going through. But yeah, he can play, Greg. It's not like it's a complicated position that he plays. Like I say, the real simple instructions of what I want from him, and he can play the game. And he comes from a good school. He's learned some valuable lessons in his education of being a rugby player, and he knows what's expected of him. The only problem was that, like I say, don't get caught up in the language. The plays are very, very similar across every team, but the languages are different, and he's just got to learn that.
Keep picking up these players that are going to benefit you going on, aren't you?
I am, yeah. It's like I say, if we can hold somebody in the team and keep people fit and healthy. Like I say, we've got some good competition for places, and we can work out through that. We're looking to constantly evolve the side without ripping it to pieces. I know it's a couple of sides, and Hull are a really good example of. Like I say, they were disappointed last year, but then went out and spent a lot of money, invested massively in the team, and it's paid benefits for them. And the quality of player they brought in. We're not a club that can afford to do that. Like I say, we know that we've got it's a slow, steady progression to get us to a point where our academy and our junior section is strong enough to be able to support our senior side.
Jeremiah, he recovered from
he's back. He'll be back and available this week, which is fortunate. Like I said, Lloyd ran his blood to water on the weekend. It was a tough ask. I know, comparing to James Roby, who just play 80 minutes in that position, is hard to do. Like Rob's is a bit of a freak, and I thought Lloyd in that position on a short turnaround after 2 or 3 really tough weeks was outstanding.
Salford had a pretty bad week last week. You're going to try and rub the noses in it this week, hopefully.
Well, I can control those kind of things. I think Salford have been a pretty solid side this year, very similar to ourselves. They've plugged away, they've played some decent stuff, they've won games that they've looked really strong in, and they've lost games where they still look very strong as well. So they've been a very similar kind of position to where we are in the table. That competition over the last few years has been pretty intense with them. We've won a couple, they've won a couple. So that's what we bring on Friday night. Like I say, and we want to get back to winning. We want to win here. I think it's one of those things where for the last few years we've been pretty solid at home, and this year we've been really solid away from home. So get back to some winning ways here. But it's going to be a tough competition, because I think they know where they are. They know what they've got to do. Like I say, you look at the playing roster, and the way Ian Watts talks about them is they're a really solid group. They're a good bunch of lads. They work hard for each other, and they've got some decent players in their team. So it's going to be a tough competition here on Friday night. Mentally, we've got to bring the fact that we want to finish the table and as high as possible in the table. We don't want to be in that situation where we've scraped into the 8. We want to be in a point where we feel like we're well established in the 8.
Plenty of threat in that back line as well, haven't they, Salford?
Yeah. They're good. Like I said, they're a decent side. I think Justin Carney comes back this week from wherever he didn't play last week. But he's a threat. I think Keaton Brown is the same, and I think Gareth O'Brien's been sensational for him this year. And then in Dobson and Robert Lew, they've got threats at the half. So it's a tough side to beat. Like I said, with Haraki and Murdoch Masilla in that team, and Flanagan, they've got threats in their back row that can ask a lot of questions. So we know it's going to be a tough game, and they're coming here with a bit of who cares kind of thing. We know where we're finishing, we know what we've got to do. We just got to build some momentum into the qualifiers again. And then, like I say, I can't see that being a problem for him.
Surprised with, I mean, you've had a look at O'Brien down here. Are you surprised the way he's adjusted to playing full back?
Not really. I always felt that could have been where he ended up anyway. I say, just get him out of that front line defensively. He's got good pace. He's got good awareness. And a lot of the sides with fullbacks now, that you need a pass in him. You need a pass in, not just a running threat. I think Gaz offers both. Like I say, he can inject himself into the line. He can stay in the line and be a passing threat. He's got a good kicking game. He's solid and brave. So he's got that ability to be able to play and adapt. And the traditional fullback role has changed massively now. Like I say, you need a player that can act like an extra half, that's got a pass, that creates another threat, and that's what Gaz does.
So was it a lot of people relieved, not just yourselves, but the fact that Salford's appeals finally been and gone. I think it should have been dealt with earlier. This.
And it's control your controllables. It's nothing to do with me. And that's just one of those where, I think the salary cap's there. If you agree with it or don't agree with it, you sign up to it and you sign up the mandate, and you have to play by the rules.
So you're not mathematically safe yet of April. Good chance here now at all.
Yeah, we mathematically. You look at our form against the sides that are below. Hull KR had a fantastic win on the weekend. Hull looked like they want to really need to bounce back. That's a big derby game this weekend. It's at Hull, so it's a big challenge for Hull KR to get the 2 wins that they need. But we're constantly looking at the fact that again, we don't want to look down. We're not worried about not making the 8. We want to finish as high as we possibly can in the table, and that's not this game. That's the next 9 games. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at there's 9 games left of this season. 9 games for us to put ourselves in a position where this club's not been in a long, long time, which is in a strong position in the league.
Smashing. Good stuff.